Alright, welcome back to this tutorial. Still I'm Damian Sserunkuma. This is chapter 2 of using Blender, and we want to this time look at how to manipulate on or adding objects to our scene. So to add objects, there are a number of objects that we can add to our scene. I'm making sure that I've clicked at the this button for move, and you can now hide it away. Okay, can hide it away. So I have this window. So there are a number of operations that you can do. We realize that I'm pressing the middle scroller button of my mouse, and then to move my entire 3D world, I press the shift key, hold it, and then press the scroller button to move the entire 3D world. Alright, so how do we add different content on in a 3D world? That content will always be added to where your 3D cursor is. This is my 3D cursor. So when I click at add, this menu is attached to this editor. So I'm clicking at, I want to add what? Add, select mesh, and add. This time I'm adding a sphere, UV sphere. Click at the UV sphere and it will be added to you. You realize that now there are two objects. So moving objects around, this time around, let me just click at that and select the cursor. So I want this time around to click at this point. I'm adding a mesh, and then I'm adding a cylinder. So it will be added to where my cursor is clicked. So cursor, I'm clicking and I'm adding an object there. Add mesh. Let me add a monkey, Susan. Okay, so Susan is added, monkey head. Okay, that's it. So that's how we add different objects. How about using the move tool? When I click at the move tool, I can be able to move these objects in different dimensions, in different directions, not dimensions but directions. So I'm adding moving my monkey head, and I want it to be placed on top of my cube. Okay, so let me just press T to get rid of this. So you simply grab using the arrows, and that is grabbing it in the Z axis. Z is blue, and then I'm moving it in the Y axis, the blue green. Okay, so I want it to rest on top, and I'm moving it in the X axis. Just grab the arrows there, so it is resting on top of my cube. Okay, so inside the cube there is another shape that I want to move to get outside of the cube. So what I need to do is to move through my list of the items that are in my 3D world, and I select that sphere. So the sphere will get selected. All you need to do is to move the sphere out. Alright, and there it is. So that is how we move different objects using the arrows. However, you can as well move them using a shortcut key combinations. You use a G for grab. So when I press G, I can be able to move my objects following my mouse. Okay, just do that and you should be able to move objects following your mouse. However, you can as well limit the way you're going to move them. So when I select G, I want to move them in the Y axis. So I press G and then press letter Y. So there I'm locking my movement through the Y axis. It cannot go through the X axis or the Z axis. Okay, so if I need to move it in the Z axis, still I'm going to press GX, and I'll be able to move it in the X axis. Then GZ, I'll be able to move it in the Z axis. So that is the easiest way you can move different objects on your in your 3D world. How about rotating these objects? Rotating of these objects is as simple as pressing letter T for tab, and then I need this control for T for rotation. So rotation, you realize that you can as well rotate different objects in different angles. So click at that. Let's just get the Suzanne head or the monkey head, so that we know how, or we understand how the rotation is going to be. I want to rotate this head to lie on its neck. So I'm rotating it along the X-axis. Okay, I'm rotating it along the X-axis, and that's the red. So I'm clicking at the red line, hold the left mouse button and move the red line like that through an angle. Okay, and then I'm interested in moving it downwards. So I'm pressing my G, the blue line is Z. So blue G Z. Okay. So I'm selecting it again. So I'm pressing the G Z. So I'm able to position it there. Okay. So my monkey head is resting on top of really resting on top of my cube. However, these controls can be adjusted. You can change its rotation through the Z axis. So Z axis is the blue. However, you can as well control the rotations and the movements using the view option. So when I click at that, or you press letter N to get this other option of the transformation. So I can be able, we have different we can have the location. The location will control your movement, dragging of the objects left, right, top, bottom. Right. Then the rotation will control how much your object is going to rotate. So if I need to rotate, you realize that the Z axis, the Z rotation is adjusting. So the same way I can be able to position my cursor there, click and hold, and then move my mouse. I'll be able to rotate this. Alternatively, if I need to take it back to its original position, I enter the number by default as 0. Press enter, and it is right in its original rotation. Okay, of Z 0 0. Okay, so you can as well control how much an object can be scaled out or inwards. So if I need to scale this, I'm going to scale it. So I need to select scale. You can decide to scale by pulling the holders, the boxes. So I'm scaling it at the X-axis, and I want also to scale it at the Y-axis. Okay, let the Z be constant. So realize that the scaling has changed there. Alternatively, you can as well change that like that. The shortcut key combination for scaling is S. When you simply press S on your keyboard, you should be able to scale in all directions. But if you want to limit the scaling to a particular direction, maybe Z axis. So press S, Z, and then you will be able to scale in the Z axis only. Let us scale in the X axis. So S, X axis, and you scale it down. This is one way you can manipulate objects in the 3D world. You can as well check out for the transformation. When you select the transform tool, you will be able to select an object and you'll be working directly with the direction or the icons of your transformation directions or transformation icons. So if I need to move my object in the Z axis, I need to select the arrow. If I need to scale it in Z axis, I need to select the box. If I need to rotate the Z axis, I need to rotate. So it depends on what you are intending to do with the object. That's what you'll precisely do with the rest of the objects. So they are different. We have looked at 3 tools. We have looked at the move tool, which enables you to move. Yours might be a little different, might be showing like that. So this is the move tool. So you can move in different directions. You can have the rotation tool to rotate the object in different directions, and you can have the scale tool to scale the object in different directions. So it depends on what you want to do, but the one that combines all the 3 is the transform tool. The transform tool enables you to hold according to which tool you have chosen to use. Okay, it makes life easy. Please consider subscribing to my channel. Click at the notification button and click the bell for more videos. Thank you.